Hello there, Vic Benedict here. We're playing God of War 3 Remastered on Chaos difficulty, and this is my Pain Plus guide and walkthrough. We're currently on installment the 18th. It is entitled Olympus Gardens. So we will go over to the gardens right after we acquire this final weapon here. And it is a strange one. I'm going to skip the tutorial where it has you fighting some of the standard grunts. I think the only thing that it mentions to you on the tutorial is that if you press and hold the square and or the triangle button, it does a charge that will electrify and stun enemies that way. And the more you upgrade it, the longer the charge duration becomes. The strange thing about this weapon is that it has the unique property of when you want to launch an enemy, you have to press triangle and then triangle again to go up into the air. So it's not that you're holding, I mean, you do hold, you press triangle and then you hold triangle, but it's not just a single hold of triangle. So I think I also didn't mention in the walkthrough where it concerns skipping fights. Skipping fights, while frowned on, is still permitted in a Pain Plus run. Now, if the person is skipping every fight that can be skipped, you know, one would have to furrow one's brow pretty deeply and wonder just what exactly he is watching. Because why are you running from every single fight? Are you playing the game, or are you just running and just not even playing it at all? So, but why do I mention that? It's just because the last time I did the walkthrough, I made sure to kill everybody everywhere. You know, for every fight, even the lost souls in Hades, which is ridiculous. But I don't like I don't just run past them for the sake of running past them. I just run past them because they are essentially nothing enemies, and it like I said before, it really stretches the credulity of what a fight is. So we're hopefully on the same page as far as that. So I'm going to just do a skip over here, and if you didn't know, you can completely skip Aphrodite, Kronos boss fight, acquiring the Nemesis whip if you want to. Earlier when you're over here, if you do that jet dash, you can skip that. I did when I was unlocking the difficulties. And I don't know why in my 2017 guide I felt compelled to get all the chests in here. It's just a complete waste of time. And for some reason, I was calling myself Dick Benedict on that walkthrough. Even I changed the B to a D on the bottom right where it has my name. A couple walkthroughs featured that name change. So I'm not sure why. I think I just liked it for the novelty of it. Because a lot of people were liking it too, but I don't want to change the identity of this channel. You know, that's not what I'm aiming for at all. So I reverted back to Bic. So here's the gardens. Now, it's hard to explain what I'm going for over here, and it's a very bad shame that the checkpoint for the satyrs is so rotten. But the first set of enemies is beyond this save halo over here. Notice I did cut the cutscene out. So there's four of these guys over here. So it's a small mob of legionnaires. Is it 5 or 4? Whatever, 4 or 5. It doesn't matter. But the thing is, after this fight, these guys also, they won't come out of this area either. If you want to lure them into other parts, they won't follow you. But so once you get to the save point, and then you'll get that checkpoint where you find Hera's chalice on the ground and get the jewel from it. So right after that, there's a fight with 2 more of these legionnaires that you can ring out, and 1 stone talos. And then whether you do that fight or not, once you push forward, you're gonna get the final checkpoint before the satyrs. And then as you're going to the satyrs, there's another mob of just like this. There's like 4 or 5 more of these guys. But it doesn't matter if you complete the fight or if you don't complete the fight, because the checkpoint is before that mob. So what's going to happen is that you're going to be going to the satyr fight, and every time that you respawn, or just reset the checkpoint and do what you want to, you're going to start midway up and to the right of that path we're going up. And you don't have to do this fight, and you don't have to do the next fight. If you want to clear both of the fights, go back and go to the save halo, you can, but that will be the start of your run back to the satyrs. So what I would do, and it's not that much more actually, but what I would do is I would not even bother with these fights, because it's very frustrating that the satyr checkpoint is what it is, because of the fact that they're reintroducing this enemy, and they're making you go through some unpleasant formalities just to get over here. But if you take nothing else from what I tell you about these satyrs, take this: when you jump, they taunt, and their taunt is pretty long-winded. I don't think they can cancel out of it, and like I said, it's long-winded, and they do a pretty big show of twirling their blade, and you get a lot of time to go up to them and approach them and launch them, and do what you like to them, or just roll past them to reposition yourself. When they jump off the wall, you don't want to have anything to do with that, so you cannot block or parry it, and it takes away hefty damage. So the real thing to be conscious of, like I said, I hope I'm not saying it too much, but jump. Just keep jumping. And I know it's kind of absurd, but it does keep them at bay. And you can even skip this fight if you want to. I think really they need to, like this, for instance, I need the camera flipped. It would be nice if you could have some way of having the ability to flip the camera in a different direction, or have the camera flip for you automatically. When next they do a God of War like this, which will be when hell freezes over, It's kind of funny too, how you can lead them by the nose, if you will. Also, it's quite possible on that first satyr to grab him without being interrupted. I really like the look of this enemy, and it's a very threatening. It really is. It's a threatening enemy in packs. But once you and it are alone, and you can just grab her, the enemy becomes a complete joke. But it's still got vicious moves that are very deadly to you. I love that little tip about jumping. So we're going to put these two concepts together when we do the Cerberus, Hades Cerberus Breeder boss fight at the end of the game. We're going to be jumping to provoke taunts from the satyrs, and we're also going to be standing on the edges of the environment to keep the beast contained as much as possible too. And I'm not taking credit for any of that. I saw that on Taz1's video. I don't know who was the pioneer of finding that, if it was Big V or whoever it was, but people have put some serious... God, don't you just love this game? It's so... I can't believe how fucking wonderful this game looks. Did you know that... I think I mentioned it before, but it's in full 1080p with 60 frames per second. I mean, on a PS4, that's like just ultimate heaven right there. Ultimate heaven. Okay, so there aren't any more fights. It's just puzzles, and they aren't very difficult either. I should mention where this is all leading up to, right? So the next stage, I'm talking about it like it's a Super Mario Brothers stage or something. The next area that we get to will be the Caverns, but I'm not going to end the video until we get over to the location where you fight the Cyclops enforcers and the Berserker. And I just did that fight, and it's a fucking ordeal. It really is, but I like it. It's just that they take a long time to kill, and I don't know why, but it's just difficult to deal with enforcers and the Berserker, who you can't stun, whereas the enforcers, you can stun them all day long with any combo that ends with a T finisher. Yeah, so that's where it's going to go. And then at the beginning of the next video, it's going to immediately start with that fight. And I just did it, and I can't remember exactly when I started, but I think it was like an hour and a half maybe of doing it. You might also notice that our rage has been consumed, and it's in the process of getting filled up. Well, if you're unsure about why that is, it's because we had to use some to deal with Kronos and get him all situated. So see that, how it's bubbling over. I mean, I can't believe how good this game looks. But you know what I keep thinking though? It's such a beautiful game, but it has, and don't take this the wrong way, but it has less substance to me than God of War 1 and 2. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but it's just like there's so much polish and just utter beauty in this game, whereas the previous games were well polished, but they were just a little bit rougher and longer too. The campaigns were longer, so I don't hold that against this game though, because some games have short campaigns. Take Metal Gear Rising or Vengeance. For me personally, yes, this game has a short campaign, but I've been playing it for 10 years, so obviously the length of the campaign doesn't matter at all to me, because I can keep playing it forever. Look how well this works. Perfect. And And I always do that. I want to push the cranks. I'm on the wrong side. I'm pulling them. I don't want to fucking pull them. God damn it. Okay, now we're going to be meeting up with these scorpions. I'm going to do a couple of throws for you just to see what they are. That's a standard ground throw. This is going to be the bounce throw where you kick it. I really like that one. And then this is the one where you launch it up. Should be coming up right over here. And then you kind of just throw it like you throw a lot of the other enemies in this game. So I'm going to fight this pack, but once they throw me into the dark, I'm just gonna fly over them because they kind of gang up on you. There's one tiny little ambush that I don't appreciate, and I mean, what is this? This is just, what is this? It's very much stretches the credulity of what a fight is. It seriously does. And that's what I've been thinking a lot of late too about this game. Whereas like in 2017 when I was doing this game, I would just do everything without another thought. But we're always changing. The people we were 3 years ago aren't necessarily the people we were or we are today. I've had many hardships befall me since then that I don't even want to talk about. And it could get even worse too. I hope it gets better. You know, I don't want it to get worse, but it could. But I'm living my life. And I hope that as you do your thing, you live your life, you're continuing to take care, and I hope that the walkthrough is aiding you where you need aid. So again, take care, and I will see you in the next video.